What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, extra special guest.
Yo, Cory Mathews in the house.
I gotta say it, IFBB Pro, because we're excited. Because we're about to get into something that I think only a pro can address. I mean, I address it a lot, but people are like, oh, well, you're just trying to sell supplements. Well, he kind of is too, but nonetheless, he's competed. I mean, you've stood on stage with some names that are big, like big names. I mean, even on the national stage, you know, as a light heavyweight, you were up against light heavyweights. People don't understand, like, I believe that usually the super heavy wins, but the light heavyweight is usually the toughest class at any national level show. I know because I compete as a light heavyweight, and that's why I always got my ass kicked. So anyway, so, you know, you get a lot of these things. I just posted I just read you on Instagram today that I block immediately. I'm an Insta blocker. It's like, hey, low doucher, lay off the steroids. And I thought it was kind of funny because I was with you, and to be accused of being on steroids and I'm next to someone of your size, I'm like, I have made it. I have made it. And I've just to let you know, I know you probably haven't sat down and watched all my crappy videos, but I've come clean about my TRT. I've come clean about when I competed and when I won my pro card. I've come clean about, you know, the fact that, you know, there could have been extra. I've never been like, dude, I'm all natty. I've never said that. So, but for some reason, I still get that crap anyway. So, regardless, people go on and they will put on these cycles like, dude, this is what Phil's taking, or dude, this is what Lobliner's taking this. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm taking a lot of stuff. It's like, I'm on trend year round and this and that. I know, and I know that's kind of, might be over the top, but what I want to get at is that I think a lot of these people they might be training hard. They might be going hard. They might not be training as hard as they should be. Generally, people who throw hate out there, they're usually missing the boat. They have some self-esteem issues, and they're usually underachievers, what I call a fixed mindset. A growth mindset sees others' success and they're happy for it, regardless if they're enemies or friends. Fixed mindset sees other people's success and makes excuses for why they're not successful as well.
Very good.
So, it's actually a great book. I'm gonna actually send it to you. It's called Mindset. It's amazing. Guys, read the book Mindset. It's an amazing book. So, a lot of people don't realize that there's one component that cannot be replaced by drugs. So you get guys like, I'm going to throw names, Boston Lloyd, saying all the top pros are on this. They all take insulin. They all take this. Okay, great. They all use, what is that, PMA, DMA, whatever that inject site oil thing stuff. I don't know. All I know is it scares me. What's funny is someone did call out the oil in your arms, one of the pictures. So that was I left that there. I thought it was a compliment.
Well,
his triceps, to be honest with you, his triceps are so good. My first thought was, there's no way. And so I commented on your photo. No, but anyway, I think you guys are missing the boat. And I really do, is that you can't out-drug genetics.
Genetics are key. When you're talking about genetics, how many 7-footers have you met in your lifetime?
In person, 3 at the University of Cincinnati.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. It's not like you see one every day, right? The same thing it is with the true genetic freak. Here's the reality. Every one of us have muscles, but some of us have a superior genetic that takes our muscles to a different shape or a different look. Our bodies can turn into a different type of a body. And the majority of people, the average person does not have, he has the muscle where he can actually change his body in the gym, but it doesn't mean he has the genetics to be someone like Phil Heath or a Ronnie Coleman or a Kevin LeBron or a Flex Wheeler, or I can just go down to, you know, Dexter Jackson. These guys have the kind of genetics that they're built for this.
Yeah.
They're built for this. When I was young, I used to do push-ups. We used to always do push-ups. And my body would change. And my friends used to wonder, why does your body look like that? It's like, because, I mean, at the time when we were kids, I don't know. But the reality is, it's like I got my daddy's genetics. It's like, you know, my body responds to the resistance in that when I train, it responds differently or more advanced than a normal person. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is, it takes years upon years upon years to develop a body. that will get you into a position. And for example, I see kids all the time. It's like, they want this, they want that. There's no such thing as a magic pill. I've seen guys in the gym that you take everything under the sun, you still look like crap. You still don't, there's nothing good.
And they usually don't train right either. And I'm just going to go on the record. I've never seen a guy, like usually these guys, they throw, like, I remember there's this one guy in Burlington, I forgot about this story. When I lived in Burlington, North Carolina, this kid at the gym, and one of the older dudes, he came up to me, he's like, dude, this guy needs help. I'm like, cool, what are you doing? He's like, well, this and that. And he's like, I'm taking, and I'm like, whoa. It was like, I'm like, why? And why are you 170 pounds still, And so, long story short, I told him, you got to kind of crawl before you walk. You can't miss that level of development. Mm-hmm. So a couple weeks later, swear to God, yeah, I trained back for the first time last week. I'm like, so he's on grams and grams and grams of stuff. And he's talking about not only not training legs, you got to admit, he's not training legs and not training back. Dude's doing the chest and arms program. And I think a lot of people, you see him at the gym, and I think he's not trying to insult everybody who looks like crap. He's just saying that, there's a lot of variables that come into play, and sometimes you could throw everything at the wind, but if you don't have the genetics to do so, you're not going to turn into Phil Heath overnight. And also, Phil Heath's called the gift for a reason. Yeah. And let's take another thing, like, I don't have your genetics, I don't have Phil's genetics, and damn sure don't have Phil's genetics, but when I first touched a weight, I was 150 pounds in high school. I started training with Coach Miles at my school. I got up to 220 in 2.5 months. So my body responded. Mm-hmm. And I generally tell people, if you start and you're having hard times gaining, it doesn't mean you can't get results. It just means that you probably won't be Mr. Olympia. Because usually you hear the stories like, Phil, when he first started training after basketball, everything blew up. Yeah. It's like, usually you can tell if you have those genetics to do extra special things, and I'm just saying that before casting stones, or even the guys who are really natural, like I'm sure you've heard of Doug Miller, and he's the greatest natural he is by far, and he gets more hate. Like, we did videos, it's all this week we're putting videos on, right? And his videos get more dislikes because everybody thinks he's not natural. Now he's one of my best friends, like he's in the top 5 best friend list, and look, I would know if he's on, I would know. Mm-hmm. Like if you showed him a needle, he wouldn't even know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that people just see genetic elite, and they think it's like if we saw an alien. Like, we don't believe in aliens no matter what. A spaceship can land right there. We're like, that's not a spaceship, And that's what I think's happening. And people are they have that fixed mindset. They just can't fathom that genetics are a factor.
Well, I tell you what. There's 2 things, and like I said, the first thing is longevity.
Yeah.
You want to go far. You want to live long. You want to take care of your body.
Yeah.
The second thing is, man, it took me 27 years to look like I look.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going to credit it to any steroid. However, I didn't take anything until I was 34 years old, getting ready for my first show. And I had already had a physique. I already had size. I already had a foundation that was built over the years of training. And because of my genetics. So no, I don't go around and, broadcast, I'm taking this or I'm taking that. And when I was natty, no, I'm natty, I don't have to, listen, it doesn't matter. No. Because the reality is, if a guy has a gift, if he has genetics, he's going to look like that one way or another, whether it's hard work or whether he does a little something to put a little extra edge on it. Whatever the case is, if you don't have, there's no way in the world I'm gonna be 7 foot tall.
No,
because I don't have the genetics for that.
No,
but there is my body will change because I have a genetic.
Yeah. Likewise, I was 27 before I did anything. So I mean, and that's something to be said because I was training since 14. Mm-hmm. And you were training just as young. So I think the take home of this is, before you start casting stones, before you set unrealistic goals, just realize that. Just like in basketball or baseball, so I go to batting cage, like, a guy came in today, great guy. It's like, well, I want to get big, but not as big as you. And I'm like, don't worry, I've been doing this a long time. I'm trying to get big. When I go to the batting cages, people are like, nice hit. Well, I don't want to hit as good as Alex Rodriguez. I just want to hit, just a little bit better. No, I'm not going to hit as good as Alex Rodriguez. Same thing here. So again, appreciate you coming in here, adding that perspective on it. Ronnie Coleman's Signature Series, available at tigerfitness.com. Yeah, Buddy's their pre-workout. Amino Tone. Yeah, Buddy's, that was an awesome workout, man.
Oh, man.
Amino Tone. I just tried the cherry limeade today. That's my new go-to. That was delicious. That was, I might like that better than America. And I really like America. Anyway, click it down below. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming, man. And that's not a game.